Well, what's going on, guys? Gonna do another cooking video. I get a surprisingly huge request for more cooking videos all the time, so I'm actually making this to bring over to someone's house tomorrow. I'm going to watch the Indy 500. Yes, I've gotten into NASCAR. But anyway, I'm going over as a guest, so I figured I'd bring some food. I'm going to make shrimp scampi, which is very easy seafood. There's a lot of really cool seafood dishes out there. Some are more complex than others. This is pretty straightforward. Basically what you have is cooked shrimp with parsley, butter, lemon, and pepper, a little bit of garlic over some pasta. But I'm going to give you an ingredients list here. Now what you're looking at is not the exact proportions of how much the ingredient you need. Of course I'll tell you that in a second. But this is just giving you a representation because I just took the stuff out of the bag. Except for the wine, which I already had in the house. But anyway, we're going to need 1.5 pounds of raw shrimp. You can get these frozen or fresh, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that they're raw, they are not cooked, because if you put cooked shrimp into the pan and cook it more, it's going to get rubbery and nasty. You have to start off with raw shrimp, they cook pretty fast. You need to deshell them and devein them. If you don't know what deveining and deshelling is, all that kind of stuff, you can look it up, but basically there's a shell on it, take it off, and as you split the back of the shrimp open, there's an intestinal tract. It looks like a little blue or black line. That's just basically it's crap. You want to take that out. We don't want to eat that. That's deveining it. Anyway, we also need some butter, 1/2 cup, which this is not a half cup. Just a representation of the butter. Anyway, we need 4 tablespoons of garlic. We need it minced. I'm going to use already minced garlic. Of course, you can use fresh garlic. There should be no difference whatsoever in flavor by using fresh garlic. It's just a convenience of being already minced. We're also going to need 1/4 cup of dry white wine. Today's selection, we have an Alto Livello, a Pinot Grigio from 2008. And no, I know very little to nothing about wine, but I do know this is a dry white wine. This is actually a Christmas gift from 2008. So I'm breaking into it today for some cooking. I do not drink, that is just for cooking, although I do have a little wine collection. You know me, I'm into everything. But I have not made a video about it because I don't know that much about it. I just happen to collect wine. When I get it as gifts and stuff, I don't give it away, I just keep it. I figure it's not going to go bad, it's just going to get better with age. And who knows, eventually I'll have it on some kind of celebration, or in this case, I'll cook with it. So we're going to need 1/4 cup of dry white wine. We're also going to need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'm going to squeeze it fresh. Of course, if you have one of those plastic lemons, that'll work just fine. But we also want some lemon for garnish at the end as well. We're also going to need a 1/2 cup of chopped parsley, which I have here. You're also going to use the parsley with the lemon wedges for presentation at the end when it's all done. We're also going to need a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to have fresh cracked black pepper. And the last thing we're going to need is our green onions. We're going to need, looking at my list here, and I didn't put how much, which I don't know offhand, but we're going to need some green onions. Not much for this recipe, I know that. Another thing is, I was corrected a couple times in my last cooking video, and people said they're scallions. There really is no difference between a green onion and a scallion, other than it's called different things in different places around the world. So some people call it green onions, some people call it scallions. They're exactly the same. However, what is different is a spring onion. A spring onion is a little bit different. And of course, some people think shallots are the same as green onions, but they're not. They're completely different from all those. But anyway, that's it. That's our ingredients list. Shrimp, wine, parsley, green onions, lemon, pepper, garlic, and butter. And the last thing, which is not on the list, but of course, you're going to want to serve this over some kind of pasta. I'm just using linguine. You can use whatever you like. Doesn't really matter. So that's it. I'm going to prep up all this stuff, get everything ready, and then I'll go through the steps of cooking it, and there we go. I'll be right back. Alright, well, in case you're using frozen shrimp like I am, just want to show you the quick prep in case, I don't know, for some reason you've never cooked with shrimp before. But anyway, what I have here is a large bowl in the sink. What I want to do is fill it up about halfway with some hot water once I get the shrimp in there. But anyway, here's our frozen shrimp. Right now what I'm doing is defrosting the shrimp. I want to get them nice and soft again and defreeze them. And then I'll show you the process of deshelling them and deveining them. But what do you know? I'm going to need a knife for this. Today's EDC, Benchmade Mini Griptilian. Awesome little knife. And there's our shrimp. Alright, so again, bowl of hot water just to defrost them. Alright, that's good. You just want enough water to actually, cover them all. So I'll get back with you when these are defrosted, and I'll show you how to deshell them and devein them. Again, just in case you don't know how to do that. Alright guys, I figured while I'm deshelling these shrimp here, might as well show you one. So, actually we'll do two here. So here's our shrimp. We got little shrimp feet hanging. Alright, we got the shell on there, the tail. Okay, there's our shrimp, right? Here's what we want to do. First thing you do is start up by the top here. Spread the shell out a little bit. Okay? Once you take a little piece off the top, the shell, hold this top kind of firmly and pinch way down here at the tail. If you pinch and pull, the rest of the shell can come off in one piece. Okay, just like that. Makes your life just a little bit easier. Alright, so now all of our shell is off. We want to devein it. They have the digestive tract in here. Now sometimes they're transparent so you can kind of see through them. Take your blade on the back of the shrimp here towards the top, just score it a little bit all the way down. It'll open up and you'll see a black line. It's called the vein. This is the shrimp's digestive tract. It's basically shrimp crap. And no, it doesn't look very appetizing, and yes, if you've eaten shrimp before, I guarantee you've eaten that. It's not like every single shrimp you've ever had was surely deveined. I'm sure you ate at least once or two. It's not going to kill you. It just seems gross if you cook with it like that. So that's why we all take it off. Anyway, here's another one. Take the shell off. Kind of did that one backwards, but that's okay. Just make sure you get all the shell and all the little feet. And this one, top broke off a little. That's fine. Just going to cut off the back just a little. Open it up. We'll see in there, just get all the vein out that you see. Put it off to the side. Make sure you clean it well. There's still a little bit hidden in there. You'll probably never even get a taste of it. It just seems gross, so we get rid of it. I mean, think about it. What does shrimp really eat? It's just a bunch of little dirt and particles and crap. But anyway, that's it. Let me do one more real quick for you. Let me get a big guy here. Here we go. It's a bigger one. Again, we got all the little feet and stuff. Start at the top. Peel some of that shell off. Pinch the bottom and pull. Oh, that broke off, but that's okay. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's literally just a shell you want to take off completely because it's too hard to eat. Too chewy. I always say it's good roughage. In fact, when I have like popcorn shrimp or something, any kind of fried shrimp with the tail on, I always eat the tail. I always get funny looks, but I always eat the tail. I like the crunch. So anyway, score the back a little bit here. Open it up just a little. We'll see there's the vein or the digestive tract. Get rid of that. It's gross. Get off my finger. Alright. And that's it. Just go through. Make sure you get all of it. It'll pull right out. Alright, so there's our shrimp. And I'm just going to continue this process until they're all done. Be right back. Alright, well, I'm still peeling these things. Take forever. But I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. My first thought was I hope there's some PETA people that comment in this video. Because a lot of times they like to pick and choose with which animals that they like to defend. But these little shrimp, they're minding their own business until someone swiped them out of the water so I can have them for dinner tonight. But yeah, so if you're one of those PETA people or animal activists, you better speak up for these shrimp. They didn't do anything to me. They're poor and helpless just like any other animal. I just find it interesting. A lot of times, they'll, like I said, they'll stick up for deer, against hunters, and oh my god, you're so horrible, but they'll watch a cooking video, they'll think nothing of it. But anyway, and also I had a really strange thought. I pictured a 6-foot shrimp peeling little people. you know, just a bowl full of little humans. Just grabbing one at a time, ripping our skin off, maybe popping the heads off, pulling our crap string out of our body, and just throwing us in a pot for dinner. Sometimes I have those weird thoughts. They're really out there. You know, what if the world was different? I had this thought the other day. What if we didn't wear pants at all? Just walked around completely bottomless. We wore shirts like we do now, but no pants, no underwear. Just letting everything fly. And it's strange because we do pretty much what society tells us to do. So, if you didn't know any better, if you were born into a world where people walked around with their genitals hanging out, you would think it's normal. But what if? What if that's just how it was, you know? You wouldn't think anything differently of it. And the funny thing is, you'd always get one guy running around with pants, and we'd call him a freak and a weirdo. Hey Bob, what's wrong with that guy? He's got pants on. Guy's a real freak. You know, yeah, we get those kind of weirdos around here every now and then, Bob. So anyway, just want to share my strange thoughts while I peel these shrimp. All kinds of things are popping in my head right now. But anyway, that's it. Still, I got like one handful left now. By the way, this is the third change of the pile of shells and stuff. I had to change the cutting board twice now. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to move on to the next step so you finally can see how to finish this dish. Alright, well, we need a half cup of very thinly sliced green onion. So I figured I'd come in here and show you a little bit of this action. Let's see how much we have so far here. Need a half cup. So we're about, well, this is almost a half cup. I'll chop a little bit more here just to give you some chopping action. Originally I wasn't going to show all this stuff, but I figured, I don't know, it is the process of cooking, so just in case you don't know, here we go. I'm using the cold steel paring knife for this. And when I chop, when I do slicing and stuff, I do like a rolling. I keep my tip on the board the whole time. It just makes my life easier. Technique is going to change really depending on who you are. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you chop them nice and thin. You'll be fine. Whatever works for you, right? It's more than enough. So anyway, like I said, technique, I mean, you could sit there, you can literally go like this and chop, you know. I just find it's easier just to rock back and forth like that. Doesn't mean it's right, it's just how I do it. Anyway, we got enough green onion now, half cup. Moving on to the next step. Alright, now we need a half cup of chopped parsley. So what I do with the parsley is I took a couple of sprigs off my little bushel there. What I do is just kind of fold it all in half. Just kind of compress everything together. It's a tight little ball here, or roll rather. And that'd be perfect. But just tighten everything up together. And I actually do the exact same motion. I just come in like this. And I am also chopping the stems here, because they're fine enough, they're not large or anything. Just watch out for your fingers when you're cutting, obviously. Pull that off to the side, because the stems are getting a little big. There we go. Just go through, get some of the rougher pieces. And there we go. Oop, take that one out. We got our fresh chopped parsley. Alright, nothing super fancy. We'll go back a couple of these larger pieces, chop up again. But that's it. Got my at least my half cup there. I'll measure that right now, and we're moving on. All right. Well, I already juiced my lemon, which it sounds kind of dirty, doesn't it? There's my 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, but I also have another lemon here I want to cut up for garnishing. So what I'm going to do, cut off a piece of the side, the end, and I'm just going to half this, and I want to take out any seeds that I see, obviously. Put those off to the side. Say, there's nothing like fresh lemon. I'm a huge citrus nut. I love it in drinks and everything else. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, instead of cutting this in long wedges, I'm going to actually do it in half kind of wedges this way. Okay, I'm actually going to flip it over because it's going to be more stable that way. And I'm going to be cutting on an angle here and going all the way around. There we go. Now we got these lemon wedges. I'll go through and inspect them, take any seeds, because this again is going to go right on top of the platter once I put everything out, so I don't want any seeds in there. Alright, so I have all my ingredients here. Just want to open the bottle of wine. And I realized that I don't have a bottle opener, like a corkscrew wine opener combo where you can use the leverage to kind of open it up. So let me see if I can twist the camera here. Hopefully it will stay. Maybe, maybe not. Come on, stay for me. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to use the Swiss Army tool. I've never done this before with these corkscrews. Never had a use for it, except for right now. Now the ones I'm used to, basically once you rotate this down and it's in the cork, it kind of a piece folds over, and you can use the leverage to kind of pull it out, but this we're just going to have to kind of muscle. So first thing I want to do is take my little blade out, because might have to use that to open the top here, which I will. So there we go. Let's get our foil off. Okay, throw that out. Close our blade, open our corkscrew. And here we go. Like I said, I'm used to doing this and using the leverage of the tool, but in this case I'm just going to have to muscle a little bit, which is okay. Inching it up. I feel like I'm going to pull this out, it's going to smack me in the face. Almost there. Alright. So here we go. The old Swiss Army knife actually works. Not as easy as the other tool, but it's the second knife today to make this recipe. So, well, it smells like wine. I don't know what I'm talking about with wine, so I'm not even going to bother. But there we go. Just rest this cork back in the top. And all my ingredients are all set. Got my wine, got my garlic, and by the way, I cut the garlic a little bit. I looked at the shrimp, I looked at the garlic, I looked at the shrimp, looked back at the garlic. 4 tablespoons seemed like an awful lot of garlic for the amount of shrimp I'm using. So I end up just using 2. If you want to stick to the original recipe, by all means. But I don't think it needs that much. So I got my garlic, my fresh lemon, my parsley, my green onions or scallions, and of course my fresh lemon wedges here for garnish, as well as the flat leaf parsley. And I have a half teaspoon of fresh cracked black pepper. Alright, so the first step here is just to add the butter to our pan over medium heat. So first thing we do is put the heat on here. Alright, well the butter's still melting down. At this point I'm just going to add the garlic in. Get in there. Okay, make sure we get all of it in there. Okay, so we're going to be cooking this, like I said. We don't want to brown the butter. We just want to infuse the butter with all this garlic flavor. Just for a little bit. When all the butter's melted, we don't want to wait too much longer after that. Then we'll add in the next ingredients. So I will get back with you when it's time for that. Alright, so this has been cooking for about a minute, minute and a half or so, and all the butter is now melted, and the whole room here stinks like garlic. Now, I happen to be hungry right now, so it smells great. If you're not hungry, a really pungent garlic smell is, believe me, it's the last thing you want to smell. But anyway, it smells good to me right now. So the next thing I want to do is add our shrimp, our green onions, our wine, and our lemon juice. Alright, so first thing is our shrimp. Be careful not to splash into the butter, so be careful here. Alright, so there's all of our shrimp. Quite a bit there. Our green onions. Just kind of scattered in. Okay. Our lemon juice. And our wine, which I have not pre-measured or anything, but just going to wing it. We're looking for a 1/4 cup here. That should be fine. Alright. So, going to give that a good little stir. We'll mix in here. And the next step here is basically to cook this all together until our shrimp are all cooked through, which is going to be a nice pink color. So I'm just going to stir this all together. It smells great. I'll tell you, you know what, the wine makes a difference. Some people may cook like this and not use the wine, but it really does add quite a bit of flavor. Again, I'm just mixing in all that garlic from the bottom of the pan. Smearing that all over the place. It smells awesome right now. It really does. It smells great. Alright, so now I'm going to turn the heat up just a smidgen. And we're going to let this cook, like I said, just until the shrimp are cooked all the way through. And I'll be back with you when that's done, but let's take a little peek at it right now. Looking pretty darn good. Alright, I'll be back with you when that's ready. Alright guys, that's it. We're all done. It really does not take long at all. It took about 2.5 minutes. And as soon as the liquid started to come to a boil, everything is all cooked. The biggest thing you want to be careful for is to not overcook your shrimp. It will get very tough and rubbery and it's not good at all. So anyway, there it is. There's our shrimp scampi. I'm going to plate this up. Actually, no, we're not done yet. Right at the end here is when you want to add your black pepper. Alright, so just sprinkle that on there. Mix that in just a little bit. And also, of course, our parsley here. Alright, so mix that in. And this does have to come in at the end here. You don't want to cook it with the parsley. Mix it all up. It's looking pretty good. Alright, so there we have it. Shrimp scampi. It's super simple. Really the longest thing that you have to do is get the shrimp prepared. Of course, you can spend just a little bit more and buy them already ready to go. You know, deshelled and deveined and all that stuff. But to me, it's just like buying chicken. You know, why overpay and buy a skinless chicken breast when you can just buy a whole chicken and, you know, get it yourself for a lot less money. But anyway, if you want to save time, you can always do that. So give me just a second. I'm going to plate it up and show you what it looks like. Alright, so I'm at my other little cooking station here in the kitchen. What I want to do is just scatter this over our pasta. And I'm going going to scrape down the pan here because we have a lot of that good garlic on there. Just kind of do an even layer. Okay. And then right on top here, just going to do a little bit in the corner here, more of that parsley. And of course our fresh lemon I'll put in the opposite corners, lemon wedges. Just like so. Pretty simple. And I'll show you this. It's awesome. This will be going over to my my friend's house, which I'm going to tomorrow. Like I said, I'm not the guy to show up empty-handed. So I got a nice little meal, nice lunch, and that's it. Shrimp scampi. It's really easy to do. It's extremely flavorful. I mean, if you like seafood, it's definitely a must in your you know, little recipe collection, I guess you call it. But yeah, it just tastes great. It's really easy to put together. Use super fresh shrimp. If your shrimp smell, really any seafood. I learned this somewhat recently. I kind of knew this, but I confirmed this. I went to a restaurant called Bonefish Grill with my friend Hannah and Grace, another one of our friends. But we had such an awesome time, and the food was so good. And we're talking to one of the wait staff there, and they were saying that, you know, seafood should not have a smell at all. If it has just even a little bit, just the tiniest bit of like fishiness to it, it's usually because it's frozen and then defrosted at some point. But if you have fresh seafood, it makes the world of a difference. But anyway, shrimp scampi. Thought I'd give you guys another recipe since you keep asking me for more cooking videos. And I've not yet done anything with seafood. This is definitely good for someone who kind of likes seafood but is not like a big nut. You don't have to worry about cooking some kind of fish or something. A lot of people like shrimp. More people like shrimp that don't like fish than people who just like fish. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.